Welcome back to episode 4 of Behind the Form, a GoFormz discussion series. My name, as always, is Keith Bateman, and I'm happy to be here discussing a very cool feature that we've recently released to the GoFormz platform. And this is going to be a product kind of heavy discussion, which is cool. We don't get to do many of these. I enjoy it because, once again, I'm on the marketing side, and when we've done a lot of new releases around AI, and we're doing a lot of development around AI, which is really cool. So I thought it'd be relevant to not have me talk about it, but have someone from our product team talk about it. So I've brought in Summer Wilke, who's one of our senior product managers on the data capture side, and she's going to drop some knowledge bombs on us about these features and more. And so, Summer, thank you for coming on, and thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks, Keith. Happy to be here. So like Keith said, my name is Summer Wilke. I am the Senior Product Manager owning data capture at GoFormz. I have been on the team going on about 4 years now. And in the data capture world, basically what that means that I own is data capture itself. So I am in charge of our template editor, where we're going to look at today in the demo, and also our mobile experience as well, where that actual data capture happens out in the field. I have been in the product world for about 10 years and really excited about what we're going to talk about today. It's one of the coolest features I've worked on in my entire career.
Absolutely. Totally agree with Summer. And her title as data capture is actually, it's critical. If we can't collect data, you don't have GoFormz. So she's kind of understanding her role as a product manager here. But no, this feature, the AI template builder, is super cool. Like she said, one of the coolest features I've seen in a while from us. So excited to dive into it. And we'll go ahead and do that. Once again, you can find Summer and myself on LinkedIn. So if you ever have any questions, follow-ups to this, find us on LinkedIn, connect with us there. And also, what are we going to talk about today? Like I said, we're going to introduce the AI Form Builder. We're going to discuss why we built it. So the vision behind this, like, features come from somewhere. Sometimes they come from customer requests. Sometimes they come from dreams in the middle of the night. We don't, sometimes we don't know, but we're going to talk to someone. We're going to understand why this came about and why it came to fruition. And then we're going to see what it does and how it works. We're going to do a live demo. Summer's going to show us a live demo of it and talk us through all the steps and how it functions. And then we'll talk about who and where it impacts. As clients, as prospective clients, as partners, you want to understand how this can impact your day-to-day. So obviously we'll talk through those benefit statements and then summarize it and let you go on your day. So stay with us. If you have questions, let us know in the comments, or feel free to reach out to us later in this presentation. So the challenge and the solution. So with this, Summer, I do have some questions for you. And one of them is, the word AI is all around this. If you're watching this on LinkedIn, anyone that's watching this on LinkedIn, like, my feed is filled with AI buzzwords and posts and people talking about AI functionality, and elicits these visions of overly complex and expensive features that, by personal experience, have taken me hours to set up and train to be impactful with other platforms. But how is the AI strategy for data capture different for GoFormz?
Yeah, that's such a good point you're making. When people hear AI, they do often think of these giant, costly systems that do take months to set up. Our strategy at GoFormz is very different. We're focused on making AI accessible and practical. So with the AI Form Builder, we want to bring genuine value to the template building process, helping customers skip the most tedious parts and get to usable digital forms faster. So the goal isn't just to have AI for the sake of it, but to make the form building and form using experience easier, faster, and more efficient for every customer. So instead of a complicated project that requires training, the AI Form Builder works right out of the box and immediately makes your day-to-day work smoother and easier.
And that's a great point, because already GoFormz was one of the few, if only, solutions that allowed you to keep the original design of your form, which can't be overstated enough, because keeping the same design format and style, it makes onboarding so much quicker for your employees and your staff, because they don't have to relearn how to fill in data again. They're like, oh, this is the same form, it's just digitized and smarter because I can collect more data with it. But now we're making it even simpler to digitize that whole process. So with that, I have a follow-up question. When you guys were designing and thinking about the AI Form Builder, What were those top challenges that you were looking to address with this functionality? Because I know as product managers, you have to decide like, are we trying to address like one client's challenges, the big client's challenges? Or are we trying to affect, impact, and solve the masses challenges? So what were those things you were trying to address?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the biggest challenges in building digital forms in general has always been the manual setup. Placing the fields in the right spots, naming them correctly so you can use them later in the process, and choosing the right field type so that your end user has a good experience. It's a surprisingly time-consuming process, especially if you're recreating forms from paper or PDFs. With the AI Form Builder, though, we wanted to eliminate those tedious steps. The AI automatically actually recognizes fields, gives them meaningful names, and assigns the right type, like checkboxes, dates, or text fields, so that customers can focus less on setup, which was very time consuming, and more on actually using their forms, which is where the value is. So for example, instead of manually dragging dozens and dozens of checkboxes onto a safety checklist, the AI does it instantly, saving you hours of work. Another challenge that we had to solve is that every form that comes into GoFormz is wildly different. No two companies use the same layouts or structures, so designing and training an AI that can handle such a wide variety of use cases is a huge accomplishment. I could not be more proud of the team. It also highlights the strength of GoFormz. Not only can the AI adapt to unique templates, but customers can then customize further by connecting data sources or adding custom logic to match their specific business needs. Once the fields are applied, it's really just a matter of reviewing and refining so that that end result feels tailored to your company from the start. And then just to echo what you said, it also matches processes that are already familiar to your team. So you get that extra win in time savings.
That's awesome. And like you said, it seems like you're trying to solve the right issues, save people time. And that's ultimately the goal. Time is money. And that's a great problem to try to solve with AI. But with AI, we know there can always be inaccuracies. We know there can always be problems. I was the other night, I was trying to, I foster dogs, and I was trying to like AI enhance an image with like Gemini, I forget, it was ChatGPT, and I uploaded the image and it turned the dog from a terrier into a golden retriever. I was like, what is going on? So AI is far from perfect. And in that case, I couldn't post about it because obviously it's not the right dog. But when we're talking about the AI form builder, we talked about it has a high degree of accuracy, which is great. And I've witnessed that for myself. But is there any types of fields, form layouts, or any types of structures that might be challenging for the AI process? And if so, what happens if the AI makes a mistake in terms of the AI form builder for GoFormz?
Yeah, great question. So let me start by just explaining a little. So our AI form builder works by analyzing your background PDF. It scans the page and looks for where fields should be placed based on that uploaded PDF. It reviews the text and determines appropriate field names, things like that, looking at lines, boxes, all kinds of things like that. The AI is excellent at handling most common layouts, things like inspection forms with text fields, checkboxes, dates. Where it can get a little trickier is with very unusual or heavily stylized forms, or forms with a lot of complex images and complex tables. If the PDF is also really low image quality, that can cause challenges as well. It just makes the processing more difficult. But the great thing is, even if it's not perfect, the form is still editable in GoFormz. So if the AI places something in the wrong spot, it only takes a quick drag and drop to fix it. So our manual builder is and will always be available to you when customizing your template. You'll just want to think of the AI form builder as getting you like 90 to 95% of the way there in minutes instead of hours.
No, that's a great point. And I think that really highlights what we're like, one of the main purposes and goals of this is that, with any AI tool, I don't expect perfection, but it's about getting me from point A to point B 95% of the way quicker, so that as the human in the loop, that terminology of the human still being involved, we're not trying to eliminate humans, we're trying to make it more efficient for them in their processing. I can then perfect that form and add what I want to it before I launch it to my team, right? I think that's a great point to have, because obviously, even if it was 100%, you would still want to review it to make sure it doesn't have everything I want in it. Is it are the labels exactly how I want to name them? Is it are the fields colored the way I want to color them, right? So you still want to be involved with that process before you launch it out, but it's going point A to point B 90% quicker than it was before or any other platform is doing, which I think is incredible. And that, obviously leads to more business daily operational efficiency, because you don't have to sit there and drag and drop. And you'll show that in a couple of minutes here, drag and drop every little field over, label them differently. It does that for you, which it can allow you to deploy a lot more forms faster, which is great. The last thing before we get into our demo, and it kind of leads from our last question, is that, in y'all's mind and the product team's mind, when you guys were developing this, as you're doing tests and as you see clients now using it, in your opinion, and strategy for getting started with the AI Form Builder, do you think we should start with our most complex forms as we're getting started with GoFormz and the AI Form Builder, or is it smart to start with the simplest ones? Or in your opinion, does it not matter? Upload what's going to be most impactful for your business and go from there.
Yeah, great question. And honestly, it does depend on the company's goals. So starting with a simple form could help your teams get comfortable with the process and start seeing quick wins. But on the other hand, if you do have one complex form that drives a lot of your workflows, tackling that one first could deliver a bigger impact for the team. Mm-hmm. The beauty of the AI Form Builder is that it makes either path easier than ever. So at GoFormz, you can use your existing PDF so your teams are able to interact with something that looks and feels familiar, saving more time during that transition. And it's really up to your company goals if you want to start with those quick wins and the simpler processes, or that robust, more meaningful process that you have at your company.
Great point. All right, now it's time to get into the fun stuff, is to see a little demo of how this works. So I'm going to go ahead and let you share, and we'll go ahead and take a look at how it works.
Yeah, so what I have up on the screen right now is the first step when you're building your template, which is uploading your actual PDF. So you're going to watch me click upload, and I'm going to choose an invoice starter as a PDF of a form that we're going to demo today. And then while you wait for that to upload, once it's uploaded, it brings you directly into our template editor. So what you see here is the tool where you can actually customize your form, add the fields, and get started with our tool. So in the past, the way that this process would have worked before the AI tool is you would go over here, you would look at the different field types, and you would drag and drop every single individual field onto your template. You'd resize it, and then you'd name each field for use later on. That's not what we're going to do. Instead, now it is just a single click. So over here on the left side, you'll see a button that says Add Fields Using AI. And when you go ahead and click that, you'll see that it starts analyzing. And what's happening here is that process that I mentioned previously, where it's looking at my background PDF, it's reviewing it, the text, and then it's hooking into our algorithm, where it's then going to go and place those fields into the appropriate locations and name them appropriately based on that background. And you'll see now that it's done, up at the top, it did let me know how many fields it added 23 fields, and I was talking quickly because I knew it would be fast. And then you'll see that it mapped all of those for me. So you can imagine the amount of time it would have taken me to drag and drop and name and size each of these individual fields. And that's the thing that we wanted to save customers time doing. We don't want you to go through that tedious process of dragging and dropping them all over. Now, it is AI, and we did talk about how that's kind of an emerging technology. So it is important to make sure that you go in here and you review each of these fields to make sure that they're what you're looking for. I have a couple things I want to call out that are going to be pro tips to make sure that you get the best experience when you come in here and interact with it. So I'm going to call out, you'll see like this field is called job start date. Our tool understands that that should probably be a date field. So it auto-selected date field for you. Sometimes, and we'll see if it got it this time or not. Yeah, sometimes it might miss a type and you might want to switch the type. Now with this project, we did bring in the ability in the right panel when you're customizing the fields that were added. And just to state, all the customization you need to do can be done over here in this right panel. You can edit the display, like when Keith called out, changing the colors to be custom based on whatever your company's patterns are. Those can all be set over here. But there's a special property type I want to call out that is type, that makes it very simple to actually switch the type of field to the one that you need for your use case. That way, when you switch it to number, you save the efficiency that we brought you with dragging it on, sizing it, and then naming the field. All you have to do is in that dropdown, select the updated type. as we scroll down, you'll see that it did get the rest of the template as well. Here we did miss a name, so another thing to look out for, make sure you update that to be payment terms. That can be done easily over here or in line. And then where you get a lot of efficiency from this tool is when you have tables on your template. So the process of dragging over a template and sizing it and naming all of these columns can be aggressively time consuming. And our tool does all of that for you instantly when it runs. So really cool stuff there. And then once this is done, all you need to do is finish that review that I mentioned, hit save draft, hit publish, and you are ready to start using these in the field and getting that efficiency that we talked about and that time savings on a daily basis.
I love it. No, that's fantastic. And one thing I want to see, so I'm just maximizing it real quick. I'll take our faces off the screen for a second so you can see. I'll put this down here so you can see just exactly what it did in full screen. But like you said, it mapped all the fields, labeled them the right way. Like Summer said, she tweaked a couple of things in terms of field type, but that's the thing with AI, like you said, gets you 95% of the way there, and then you tweak it from there, whether it be field colors, whether it be field verifications. You may want to put conditional logic in. And that's one of the questions I have for you, Summer, is that once we put this in, once we do the AI form builder, how can we start then, once this is built out, can we start integrating this with existing features? So for example, can a form now created with AI immediately start being used, connected with, automated workflows or, other advanced functionalities? Is it ready to go right now?
Yeah, absolutely. This was really important to us. Forms created with AI aren't just static digital copies. As soon as your form template is published, it can take advantage of everything GoFormz has to offer. That's automated workflows, dynamic field properties, pre-filled data, and integrations with other systems. So yes, absolutely. A form template built with AI can immediately be dropped into a workflow, shared with a team member, or connected to other business tools, depending on what your needs are as a business. But as you see here, this form is already ready to go.
That's awesome. And with that too, I think it's important to call out, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm constantly wrong. But if, the powerful thing about AI, you mentioned that, this time it may not, the phone number field may be wrong, but the next time it could be right. So this is the great thing about the AI is the more forms you upload, the smarter it's getting, right? It's constantly learning. This isn't like a static feature where it's like, oh, turn on or turn off. Like the AI is learning from all of our customers on what fields should go where, what, if someone uploads an invoice type of formatted form, it's going to learn from that. And the AI is constantly evolving with that. Is that incorrect to say, or correct to say that the accuracy should improve even more over time as this feature ages?
Yeah, so as we continue to get feedback and learn, I do want to clarify that it is not taking your backgrounds and then using those. Like we're learning and we're adjusting our algorithm, and the tool does improve over time, and we have planned implementations. Right. So we do have plans to continue to evolve it and continue to close the gaps on some of those trickier or more stylized forms that I had mentioned before. But security is a top priority for us. So I do want to call out that we're not taking your data, we're not using your data in any way to do that. We're using generalized trends and working through those improvements based on feedback from customers like you on the call, right? So the best thing that actually I should call out, since it's in here, is if you ever have feedback, you're using the tool and you happen to have one of those stylized, you can always hit provide feedback or reach out via intercom, the tools that we have in place. Actually, the chat bubble, our support tool down here, I called out the other tool, but yeah, so you can always reach out to us. We love hearing feedback. And that's actually the best way for us to continue to learn and grow as we evolve those tools. And then some of the AI services that we leverage, they're also growing. So you can expect definite improvements coming over time as we continue to iterate on the tool. But yeah, I do want to call out is a little bit different. We own and created the algorithm. It's not actively learning with each upload.
Exactly. So this isn't like you said, being pushed into the public API of ChatGPT, and people are seeing your forms. That's a great call out, and it was leading into another question I have, because we have a ton of healthcare clients, right? And they have sensitive data, they may have a sensitive document type and stuff like that. So I asked you, and you kind of touched on it, but how does GoFormz ensure our security around those documents being uploaded and generated with the AI form builder? Because a lot of people, like you were touching on, have security concerns about if I talk to ChatGPT or Gemini or, where does that data go? And a lot of that data with those tools does get shared and feed the algorithm. But like you were talking about, ours doesn't. So do you have any, words you want to expand upon on that?
Yeah, and I just want to reiterate, security is a top priority for us. So all documents uploaded to GoFormz, including those used with the AI Form Builder, are encrypted and handled according to our robust security standards. We're also compliant with key regulations like HIPAA for healthcare customers. So when they add our HIPAA add-on, and we are SOC 2 compliant as well. So organizations can feel confident that their sensitive data is protected while still benefiting from AI. That was very important to us when creating these features.
Absolutely. No, I think that's a great call out, because I think it's so understated how much data security it should be a priority for anybody, whether they're using GoFormz or using another tool. Knowing the security of your data that you're uploading, sharing, chatting, cannot be understated enough. So I appreciate you calling that out. And if you have questions, reach out to us. Like, we are very transparent about our security and the steps we take. And I think our team does a great job of having that documentation, whether it's SOC 2 compliance, HIPAA compliance. Talk to us and we'll talk to you back and share that documentation. So definitely, thank you for calling that out, Summer. And then just a couple of follow-up questions as we start to wrap this up. And I appreciate the live demo. And as Summer said, like, this feature is widely available. So if you sign up for a trial, if you go to our website, you can see tours of it. So this is something you can try out today. But the AI Form Builder really automates that first step. But what are some of the most common ways that users are really adding or customizing advanced logic to their AI generated forms? Like, what are the most popular ways you're seeing as your product testing this or seeing people experience it today? What are those advanced features they're adding after they generate the form using the AI Form Builder?
Yeah, so once the form is generated, most customers take advantage of GoForm's powerful customization options to really tailor it to their needs. So, for example, easiest way to talk about it is an example, a construction company might add automatic calculations. So a job cost estimate form instantly totals up materials and labor. Healthcare teams often set up required fields, so a nurse can't submit a patient intake form without filling in critical information like allergies or emergency contacts. Another big one is conditional logic. So showing or hiding questions based on answers to other questions. So for instance, on a safety inspection, if someone marks yes for a hazard, the form can immediately open up a follow-up section for details and photos that would otherwise be hidden if it wasn't relevant. And then there's workflows, which are huge. A delivery company might configure their form so that once a driver submits it, the form automatically emails a receipt to the customer, updates an internal database, and then triggers a follow-up task for the back office. So really, the AI takes care of the heavy lifting at the start, but the customization and automation is where customers unlock the most value for their daily operations.
That's such a great point too, is that, like you said, we don't want you wasting time on form building. We want you to dive quickly into the advanced functionality. Like, that is the biggest point of this presentation. And that's why you guys are building features like that. So you waste less time on the basic stuff and more time. You can spend more time building the advanced stuff that will make the biggest impact on your company. The conditional logic steps, the workflow, the automated workflows, things like that. The things that are, save you the most time, save you the most money, really impact your bottom line efficiencies. The things that we have webinars and resources on, but we can't overstate enough. So no, that is a great call out, and really is kind of the value that some people want to put those two things together, but that really is. We don't want you in the weeds having to build your timesheet form or your work order form and having to map and label all these fields, when you can take that hour or take that 25 minutes and apply it to building out your first workflow. So that is a great point. So a couple of things just to kind of set the stage of, like, who does this impact? Who is this a win for? IT managers, business users. It's really a win for everyone. It reduces that backlog. If you have a bunch of forms you want to upload and create, takes away that first step, because you can upload the form, get them 95% of the way there, tweak them, and then employ them to your team. Really, and then really puts that form creation back in your hands, because some people do get intimidated by even the GoFormz builder, which is pretty simple and pretty straightforward. But even that drag and drop step can be sometimes feel intimidating, especially if you have a larger form, or if you have a stack of forms, that can feel intimidating. But with this new AI form builder, and once again, it makes it very simple and very easy. So you don't need that coding expertise, you don't need IT experience. You can really just upload, let it map, and then take and then tweak from there. And then finally, a couple other things of really, who does it benefit? Where can it be used? Everywhere, right? Field operations. Summer touched on it. She was talking about all the forms that you can benefit, but really field operations, service and maintenance. Really, we are probably one of the few left that's industry agnostic. So no matter what type of form you're uploading, GoFormz can really support it. Whether it be, like I said, time and materials, whether it be service tickets, whether it be work orders, really any type of form you want to upload for the most part. And there's some exceptions, obviously. Like we said, AI is not perfect, but you can upload those checklists. You can upload those inspections, those daily reports. We can handle them, and then you can start doing those advanced functions on the back end with them, which is really great. So in conclusion, these should be the key takeaways. And I do have one more question for you, Summer, so I'm not letting you off the hook yet. But people really want to know, like, what does this mean for GoFormz? Because this is obviously a really cool feature of AI, or using AI for GoFormz. But what's next for AI and data capture at GoFormz? Like, what should prospective clients, existing clients, our partners, what should they be on the lookout for coming down the road from GoFormz regarding data capture and AI?
Yeah, so long term, our vision is for AI to support customers across the entire life cycle of their forms, not just creation, but also analysis, insights, and even process improvements. We want AI and GoFormz to feel practical and empowering, like a partner that makes your work easier, not more complicated. In terms of what's next, though, I am excited to say that the next big step forward toward that vision is an AI formula assistant. This will make it incredibly simple to create complex field calculations and set up form logic without needing to know formulas, functions, or syntax. So all those great examples that we talked about where, customers are taking their forms to the next level, those will be even easier to set up in our system. So for example, instead of manually writing a formula to calculate job costs, like multiplying hours worked by an hourly rate and then adding in the tax, you'll be able to just type using natural language. You could say something like total labor cost plus 8% tax, and then our AI will generate the formula for you. And that's really just the beginning. While we're starting with formulas, we're also looking ahead to how AI can support form users directly, helping them in the field capture cleaner, faster, and more accurate data. You'll already have seen some movement in this direction with our OCR feature, but that's where we see the future going. AI built right into the experience, not just for building forms, but for the people on your team who are actually filling them out every day as well.
That's awesome. No, I'm really excited about the formula builder, because I think GoFormz is one of the few that allows you to build super complex calculations. Like, you can calculate anything. You can build super complex conditional logic. But sometimes that can be overwhelming too for some people. Me too, sometimes. So having that ability to say, I want to build this calculation out, or I want it to do X, Y, Z, and then that AI come back to you and do it for you automatically, is going to be a game changer. So really excited to see that. And we'll obviously probably have you back on, or someone from your team back on to excite the masses with that. So that's really exciting. So we'll be on the lookout for that. But no, that's another great example of what's coming from the line. So we'll all be anticipating that. But other things, just really, who this impacts, key takeaways, streamline your data form creation, really benefit your team. This is applicable to all industries, all parties. And once again, want to hone in on data security is so critical to us. And not everyone can say that. So when you're regarding AI, like Summer said, AI security and your data is critical to us. So if you have questions, let us know. But that is paramount to us. So you can use this knowing your data is in your hands, not in ours, and it's taken care of. So really try this feature today. And if you have questions about where to try it, or the use cases, remember, you can integrate those forms with the data tools that you're already using, whether they be Salesforce, Procore, Smartsheet, Ignite, Excel. All those tools are available to you. And all you have to do is go to GoFormz.com, You can start up a 14-day free trial. You can explore on the website, test out that AI form builder for yourself. And really, like I said, you can go to our website right now. You can even take a tour of it and do a more static tour of this, but you can check out how that form builder looks. So if you didn't believe the recording, what you just saw Summer do so perfectly, you can go to our website, check it out for yourself. You can even explore our AI section and see what's coming down the line. So this will be having some updates of what's coming down the line for AI as well. So you can check that for updates. And like I said, you can start a 14-day free trial today and get started with GoFormz right from there. So I want to thank everyone. I want to thank you, Summer, for coming on, taking some of your time to engage with us and really get everyone excited about what's coming down the line from GoFormz. Is there anything else you'd like to say before I let you go?
I just thank you for setting this up. We're really excited about the feature and excited for the time savings it's going to bring to our customers and future customers.
Absolutely. And like I said, you can find me on LinkedIn. Summer, is there anywhere that you would like them, if people have questions, where they could connect with you?
Yeah, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn, send me a message. I'm always available to answer questions and would love to hear from you.
Perfect. Well, thank you all so much for your time. We appreciate it, whether you're a prospective client, current client, or a partner. We appreciate your time. Thank you again. And as always, we will see you soon. Take care, everyone. Have a great week.